Hafsa rightly said in the beginning, is not only world recognized, it is world leading. Our quality of education, right from primary school all the way up to higher education, is recognized globally and is one of the highest ranked education quality settings in the world. So we're extremely proud of that. So what makes New Zealand unique? And I've tried to put these into 3 unique qualities. And firstly, I'll start with a word called kaitiaki. Kaitiaki, that is a Maori word, and that means we are guardians of people, place, and the planet. And that really goes to the heart of what New Zealand is, I would say, and how society and culture and the community here operate, and how we do things here in New Zealand. And I'll explain a little bit more about what kaitiaki means for us soon. The next one I wanted to talk about is ingenuity. So being a country of only 5 million people, believe it or not, only less than 5 million people, we need to be very nimble, agile, and adapt very quickly, particularly when we are such a small country in amongst a lot of big global competitors and much larger countries than ourselves. So our spirit of exploration, adventure, and creativity is what makes New Zealand unique. And finally, I would say this is really, really important, and is something that we will instill in you when you do come to the University of Auckland, but it's something that you've already have, which is integrity. So in New Zealand, we are very true believers in we do what we say we will do. It's important to us, and it will be important to you if it's not so already. So I can talk about them all day long, but let's hear some facts as to how those 3 unique qualities of New Zealand are actually transpire into accreditation or recognition. So kaitiaki, care of people, place, and our role as guardians on the planet. So we're actually second in the world out of 149 economies for prosperity, which is great. We're third in the world for human rights and second in the world for peacefulness. Now, if you're entrepreneurial and maybe you're thinking, right, when I go and study overseas, I'm not only going to study, I'm going to work, but I'm also going to start a business. Well, you're definitely coming to the right place if you're looking to start a business, because we've been voted and we are seen as the easiest place in the world for doing business and starting a company. Really, really proud of that accolade. And again, it just goes to the heart of ingenuity and how nimble and agile we are in today's competitive landscape across the world. We're also 5th in the Asia Pacific region for innovation and 3rd in the world out of 139 countries for global creativity. And finally, integrity. So what does that mean to us here in New Zealand? And that is corruption transparency, not only at the government level, but also in the community and wider business sector. So we're number 1 in the world for corruption transparency. And again, that accolade will go straight towards why it's so easy to do business here in New Zealand. And we're also 3rd out of 186 economies for economic freedom, which again is something we really value. Anyway, that's a little bit about New Zealand. Those are our 3 sort of, I would say, qualities that we hold dear and what make us unique as opposed to other countries. So kaitiaki, we are guardians of people, place, and the planet. Ingenuity, we need to be very nimble and agile and creative so we can compete in today's global landscape. And finally, integrity, we do what we say we will do. So it's not something that that will be integral when you do come and study at the University of Auckland. It's also something you'll take out into the community and into the workplace. Now let's look at what great facts there are about the University of Auckland. So as Hafsa rightly said, the University of Auckland is New Zealand's leading research-led university, which we're really, really proud of. And we're also one of New Zealand's oldest universities, where we were born in the 1800s. So as you can see there, we are currently ranked in the top 100 in the world in the QS World Rankings. We're currently ranked 81st in the world. And on the left-hand side of this slide, you can see there's a whole range of different subjects that we're ranked in the top 50 in the world for. Those include such as archaeology, education, pharmacy and pharmacology, nursing, civil and structural engineering, English language and literature, philosophy, linguistics, anthropology, and psychology, and the list goes on. And every year, we're always improving in lots of different departments and subject areas. Now, I also just wanted to quickly highlight that we have a lot more subjects outside of this 13 that we do have here on this slide. And those subjects are either ranked in the top 100 or top 200 in the world. So you can be confident that if you do choose the University of Auckland to study your bachelor's or even a master's at some point in your lifetime, you're not only studying at the best place you possibly can in New Zealand, but also one of the top places in the world. Now, employability is extremely important for our students, and we know how important it is, and that's why we invest heavily in our careers development and employability service. And just to show you how attractive our students are, I just wanted to quickly highlight that universities have an employability ranking, and the University of Auckland is ranked #1 in New Zealand for graduate employability, but it's also ranked in the top 100 in the world. It's actually in the 70s in the world for graduate employability. And that's just showcasing really how attractive our students are to the global workforce and how quickly they are in work post completion of their program. And just one final ranking I did want to quickly highlight, because we are leaders in the world in this area. And I'm sure at school, maybe this is something you've studied, or maybe this is something that you might go on to study very, very soon. And that's called the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDG goals, which are set by the United Nations. And higher education institutions are increasingly looking to be ranked against those. How do we embed that in the curriculum? How do we prepare our students for the future workforce and future challenges the world will face in relation to these SDG goals? Could I just quickly ask, if you do, could you just pop yourself on mute? That way it won't disturb anybody else. So just going back to this slide, we're measured against the SDG goals. Over 800 and even close to 900 universities worldwide are measured against the Sustainable Development Goals in the Times Higher University Impact Rankings. For 2 years on the trot in 2019 and 2020, the University of Auckland has been ranked #1, which we're extremely proud of. And again, it's something that, again, you can have confidence in coming to study at a leading institution in sustainability and the SDG goals set by the UN. Now, post-study work rights. So as I said, New Zealand is a great place to live. It's a great place to study, but it's also an awesome place to work. There are amazing opportunities here in New Zealand. Being such a small country with such a small population, there is really only one way, and that is up in terms of the economy, in terms of the size of the population and opportunities. So it's a really, really good time to consider New Zealand for a place to study and work. And one of the great things that the New Zealand government has offered you is if you do a 3-year bachelor's or a 1-year postgraduate qualification, you will be eligible for a 3-year post-study work rights, which is amazing. So once you do opt for study, we do explain how you obtain those when you're at the University of Auckland, so we help you there. Now, one other thing I wanted to quickly highlight, which is probably something that you've heard every day for the last year and a bit, and that is COVID. My goodness, what a disaster this has been for the whole world. And but what I can say is light is at the end of the tunnel now. Vaccination programs are happening right across the world at speed. And I'm really, really glad to hear that India is also performing absolutely fantastically with its vaccination program. So that's something that we're really, really happy to hear that's happening in India. But in New Zealand, we've been very lucky in that the government's taken a go hard, go early approach, which has really allowed us to manage and control the virus spreading in New Zealand. So essentially, I'll give you an example. A couple of days back, we found out that there were 2 cases in the community, 2 to 3 cases, sorry, in the community. It was a family. We had a full lockdown. So the city of Auckland had a full lockdown and the rest of the country had a partial lockdown. So the government acts extremely quickly to reduce the chances of transmission in the community, which seems to have worked. So for 3-4 days, we're in lockdown, and now thankfully we're out of lockdown, which is amazing news for us. As it currently stands, we have 46 active cases, and they're all in managed isolation quarantine, which is managed by the government. So all of the cases that pretty much come to New Zealand are those returning from overseas, and they go straight into managed quarantine facilities. So very lucky here in New Zealand that life is essentially back to normal in the country. Now, with the university being a leading research-led university, we have a huge range of world-leading research institutes and research centres, and that's in across lots of different faculties, such as Faculty of Medical Health and Sciences, and engineering. And some of these areas are helping to actually combat COVID-19 right across the world, but also here in New Zealand. For example, our Faculty of Medical Health and Sciences are contributing to helping run tests here in New Zealand, because obviously the government is having to complete thousands and thousands of tests just to ensure that there is no community transmission happening in the country. And we've also got our Auckland Bioengineering Institute, who have grouped together some computational scientists and engineers from the ABI Institute who are helping to model and map COVID transmission and infection in New Zealand. And that modelling that they are doing will be made accessible to other areas and other countries as well, so they can use that modelling to see what government policy does to transmission and infection. How are we supporting international students during these really, really challenging times? So I thought I'd just let you know about a couple of things that happened last year. So we provided a fee waiver to our doctoral students. We've set aside a $3 million hardship fund for international students financially affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. We provided a fees reduction for those that had university accommodation. We also had study buddies for every single student. So every single student had access to a study buddy who was studying overseas or online. And obviously we created online individual study plans for all of our students who were stuck overseas. Now, a little bit about the city of Auckland. As I said, New Zealand is a very, very small country, has a population of less than 5 million, which I think a lot of you are joining from Hyderabad, and I'm not sure what the population is of Hyderabad, but it's probably close to the whole population of New Zealand, or possibly more, which is absolutely crazy when you think about it. But yet, even though New Zealand's actually got quite a large landmass, probably the size of the United Kingdom, it does only have just less than 5 million people. Now, the city is home to 1.5 million people. So as you can imagine, most of the opportunities and jobs are based in Auckland. So a third of the country lives in the city. Now, where are we located? So as you can see here, there's a little line around the middle of the city here, and that is our city campus. So we are located right in the heart of the city. So very easy access to transportation links, very easy access to accommodation that's both private and university accommodation, which I will talk about. But we actually have about 8 campuses dotted around Auckland and the wider regions as well. And I'll just show you what some of those regions are. Just also finally, just to let you know that when you do come to study in New Zealand, you on a student visa, you will be able to work part-time for up to 20 hours per week. Yes, we do. We may have some student roles available to you on our campus, but if not, you can see right there, you're literally in the heart of the city. So there's lots of job opportunities in and around the city of Auckland that I'm sure you can. I'm sure that you can get, which really does help with rent and shopping and any extracurricular activities you might like to do as well whilst you are studying. Okie dokie. So I just thought I'd go through some of the other campuses, which is in addition to our city campus. So just a reminder, that's our city campus. That's predominantly where you'll be studying. If you're doing science, if you're doing arts, if you're doing engineering, if you're doing business, and creative arts and industries, for example, that's predominantly where you will be based. And say, for example, this is our Newmarket Innovation Precinct. So a lot of our research students are based here simply because they have amazing equipment here to carry out world-class research. And I mean that, for example, we have a fluids lab here for our engineers, and it's absolutely ginormous, and it models like small tidal waves or sediment erosion in rivers and those types of things. So really, really interesting stuff. We also have one of the largest civil and structural halls, which essentially has a for example, in this huge hall, it has a earthquake board, and so what that means is they can put sort of foundation or small concrete structures on there to see what would happen if there was an earthquake, and to see how it might affect different materials or different structures and those types of things. So lots and lots of fantastic stuff. And if you do come to study a Bachelor of Engineering honours with us in your final year, you will be doing a research project, and that could be with other master's students or a world-leading academic who is carrying out some fantastic research. And it's likely that you'll have access to these facilities in your last year. And I promise you, they're nuts. It's incredible. If you go on our YouTube channel for the Faculty of Engineering, you can see some of the cool equipment that we have and some of the amazing research that we are doing as well. So this is our Grafton campus. This is actually home to our Faculty of Medical Health and Sciences. So these are programs such as like Bachelors of Health Sciences, Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, Bachelor of Nursing, Pharmacy, Pharmacology, those types of subjects. This is actually only a 5 or 10 minute walk from our city campus. So it's not very far at all. Could I just ask that you pop yourself on mute if you are joining? Thank you so much. So just moving on to our next campus, which is, again, absolutely amazing. This is our Lee Marine Laboratory. So this is probably about a 40-minute, 50-minute drive from our city campus. It's actually quite close to me, where I currently live. And this is where marine science is carried out, simply because there's lots of marine life, which is very, very easily accessible as to where this campus is. And in fact, actually what you can do is, even if you're not studying marine science, you can go to the Lee Marine Reserve, which is very, very close to Goat Island. Yes, there are goats there, but actually it's the sea marine life that's in abundance. And you can just go snorkeling and you can just see it all. There's like dolphins, there's stingrays, there's lots of other fish and lots of different species. It really is amazing. Like, I can't even tell you, I was only there probably about a month ago, just swimming around, and there was just so much sea life around me. It was actually a bit scary after a little while. I didn't want to get eaten, not that you would. But yeah, but that just gives you a quick snapshot of some of the campuses that we do have. But again, you can find out a lot more on our website, and also go on our YouTube channel and you can see some of those as well. Now, another really, really important thing that you will be exposed to, and it will become part of your studies and life for you when you are here in New Zealand, and that's Maori culture. It's something extremely important here in New Zealand, very, very important. And again, it is something that you will be exposed to and you can join in on, which is the most amazing part. So when you do come to us on campus, we obviously have a massive orientation for you with lots of fun activities and really, really key information. But we also have what's called a porphyry, which is a welcoming ceremony to our marae, and the marae is like the temple to the indigenous Maori people here in New Zealand. And we have one at the University of Auckland, and you'll be welcomed, and we have an amazing haka ceremony as well for you. So really, really cool. And you'll be hearing lots, or you'll be seeing lots of Maori words and terms in email communication from us, and obviously introductions as well. Easiest one to remember is kia ora. So hello, welcome. Now let's get on to some of the faculties. So we have 8 faculties. So this is our Faculty of Arts, and it's home to humanities, social sciences, languages, Indigenous studies, and lots more. I think the key thing just to showcase here is 66 different subject areas. So many different subjects that you can explore. That's at undergraduate and postgraduate level. And I've just listed some of the key ones here. And obviously you can see at the bottom there, we're ranked in the world, 23rd in the world for archaeology and 38th for English language and literature in the Faculty of Arts. So really, really amazing subjects. Now, key Bachelor programs for you to consider is our Bachelor of Arts. And our Bachelor of Arts really allows you to explore most of the 66 subject areas that I've listed here, and that also you can see on the website. It's a 3-year Bachelor program. And when you go on our website, you can see all of the different subjects and the courses in those. Okay, so English language and literature, you can either do Oh, goodness me, you've got history, you've got English, creative writing, anthropology, media, film and television, linguistics, and the list goes on. So there is some amazing subjects that you can study at the Bachelor of Arts level. We do also have another Bachelor program in the Faculty of Arts, which again is extremely popular and a very, very awesome future-focused program, and that is our Bachelor of Global Studies. And that really allows you to combine, yes, your arts chosen specialization, which, for example, could be English language and literature, but you might also want to apply that with a language and potentially another specialization in another faculty, such as marketing, for example, in a business school. So it really allows you to be quite flexible with what you study and specialize in, and combining those skills to really make you future focused and very, very employable. Now, moving on to the #1 business school in the country and one of the top business schools in the world. In fact, actually in the top 100 in the world. Now, our business school is Triple Crown accredited. It's recognized by accreditation in Europe, in Australasia, and America. So that's really, really important. And what that means is when you do study with us, it will ensure that your Bachelor of Commerce program, your undergraduate program, will have global mobility. So it will be recognized in most countries you potentially want to travel or work in. So some of the key subjects that you could specialize in the Bachelor of Commerce is accounting, is finance, is global management and innovation, international business, management, marketing, and so on. There are a huge range of subject areas for you to specialize in at the Bachelor of Commerce level. So the key programs for you are, as I said, is the Bachelor of Commerce, or you could also explore the Bachelor of Property, which again is increasingly becoming more popular. We all know that property prices here in New Zealand are going absolutely crazy, but there are some fantastic careers in property. Now, what I've done here is I've just wanted to highlight some of the key jobs related to the Bachelor of Commerce. Just a reminder that there are over 10 specializations you can choose in the Bachelor of Commerce. So the jobs list that I have here is very, very small snippet of some of the jobs our students have gone on to do. So after completing the Bachelor of Commerce, our students have gone on to be accountants, financial advisors, business analysts, corporate investment or merchant bankers, entrepreneurs, business owners, operations managers, policy analysts and advisors, sales or marketing managers, and web application developers. So you can see it's a really, really diverse list of different jobs that our students are getting after completing their Bachelor of Commerce. And just a reminder that, look, you know, there are over 10 different majors you can specialize in. So it's highly likely that the major you've chosen is something that you'll want to go on and work in. For example, if you majored in marketing, I'm sure you're going to want to go and work in marketing as opposed to accounting. So that's probably, but it doesn't stop you from pursuing a job in accounting or marketing if you do major in something. So moving on to our Faculty of Creative Arts and Design, really forward thinking, I would say, and really challenging lots of different narratives and really looking to solve lots of different problems, and just a fascinating faculty. And I would say that it's definitely something you should explore if you're not sure on what you'd like to study. So some of the subjects that are included at the Faculty of Creative Arts and Design are architecture, creative practice, dance studies, design, which is one of our new bachelors. And one of the key things to remember in the Bachelor of Design is actually that 60% of future jobs have not yet been discovered. No one knows actually what they look like yet. So what's great is the Bachelor of Design, its core focus is to get you ready and employable for those future jobs that haven't yet been discovered yet. Then we have fine arts, music studies, sustainable design, urban design, and urban planning. Could I just ask that those of you who are just joining, just to pop yourself on mute, please? It will just ensure that others are not distracted by those noises. Thank you. So just looking at some of the undergraduate programs that you can study. So obviously, if you're into architecture and design, we have architectural studies. Bachelor of Dance Studies, Bachelor of Design is one of the programs I've spoken about, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Urban Planning Honours. Just a reminder, so where a program says, say, a Bachelor of Fine Arts or a Bachelor of Commerce, that generally means the program is 3 years. When a program has, say, a Bachelor of Commerce or Bachelor of Design Honours, that generally means the program is 4 years. Okay, just for your information. So what are some of the jobs that you can get in creative arts and design? I mean, they're so out there. There's so many different roles that you could explore, and obviously lots of these different subject areas that we've just spoken about in the previous slide, but also these different programs. But one I just wanted to highlight is just what I said before, that, you know, it's likely to be 60% of jobs of the future have not yet been discovered yet. And so what the Bachelor of Design is trying to do is to get you ready for those future roles. Make sure you have those essential skills that employers will need for you to fill that skills gap when those jobs do come around. But some of the jobs our students are looking to get and are getting in industry after completing a Bachelor of Design are design strategist, experience designer, information designer, innovation manager, interaction designer, interface designer, product designer, service designer, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And what's great is, and what's even more cracking, is the salaries in these roles are actually quite good. So it's definitely worth checking out when you do have some time. Moving on to one of the next faculties, this is our Faculty of Education and Social Work. So one of the highest ranked departments and faculties in the country, but also in the world. Education is actually ranked 26 in the world at the University of Auckland. So very, very highly ranked, very highly regarded, and therefore very popular. So just bear that in mind. But this is our Faculty of Education and Social Work. And here you can just see some of the subjects you can look to explore at undergraduate level and master's level. So counselling, early childhood education, education leadership, literacy, primary teaching, secondary teaching, and the list goes on. So just a reminder that some of these subjects are taught at master's and undergraduate level. So key programs for you to explore if you're finishing high school and you're thinking, right, what do I want to do? You know, I have a passion for teaching. I think I really want to teach and go out into society and make a difference. So you've obviously got a Bachelor of Education Teaching, which is a great program, or you've got your Bachelor of Education for teaching English to speakers of other languages, which again is a very popular program. If you're interested in social work, then obviously we've got our Bachelor of Social Work, and then we have our Bachelor of Sport, Health and Physical Education. And for those of you that finish a degree and you do want to become a teacher in New Zealand, then and obviously you've finished your higher education degree in India, for example, and you want to come and teach in New Zealand, then the program you need to explore is the Graduate Diploma of Teaching. And the roles in those areas I'm sure are pretty self-explanatory. You know, if you're training to be a teacher, you'll be a teacher. If you're training to be a social worker, you'll be a social worker. If you're training to be a PE teacher, then you'll be a PE teacher. So hopefully that's quite clear. Now, my neck of the woods, the Faculty of Engineering. So the leading faculty in New Zealand for engineering. And what I'm going to do now is just quickly play a video, which I hope you can hear. This will be on the next slide, and it's around 2 minutes long, but hopefully it just gives you a nice little snippet into what life is like as a undergraduate Bachelor of Engineering honours student at New Zealand's leading engineering faculty. So I'm just going to play this now.
Take it real soon.
So that there just gives you a nice little snippet into what life is like as a Bachelor of Engineering Honours student, right from the beginning all the way to successfully landing a job at the end, and working in a fantastic career in engineering after you've completed your studies. So just a few quick facts about the Faculty of Engineering. It's comprised of 5 departments. So we have civil, structural and environmental engineering is one department. We have mechanical and soon to be mechanical and mechatronics engineering is one department. We have chemical and materials engineering as a department. We have engineering science. And finally, we have electrical, electronic, computer systems and software engineering as another department. Now, our highest ranked department in the Faculty of Engineering is our Civil and Structural Engineering faculty. And in that video, you actually got to see part of the Civil and Structures Hall, which is something I've spoken about at the beginning. And you also got to see the Fluids Lab as well. I don't know if you could just see where they built those small little tiny modelled structures just to see how the river flows amongst those small structures. So it just gives you a little insight. And those were our Part 4 students who were, as I said, doing that research project as part of their studies in our Newmarket Campus Innovation Precinct. And we're also just we're ranked number 1 in New Zealand for graduate employability in engineering as well. Now, subjects, huge range of subjects, just like arts. In fact, we have less subjects in arts, but again, a huge range of subject areas for you to explore. There's actually 10 subject areas you can specialize in your Bachelor of Engineering Honours, which is the undergraduate program in the faculty. It's a 4-year program, similar to India. It's 4 years. And the reason for that is because it's Washington Accord accredited. Okay, so like the business school, the Faculty of Engineering, Bachelor of Engineering Honours program is world recognized. The global standard is the Washington Accord. And what that means is it will grant you global mobility with your program. So if you're going to be an engineer in America, or if you're going to be an engineer in China or India or the United Kingdom or Canada or elsewhere, Australia, for example, your degree will be recognized. You'll be a recognized engineer in any of those countries, which is great. So what are some of the subjects you can specialize in the Bachelor of Engineering Honours? So chemical and materials, civil engineering, electrical and electronic, engineering science, mechanical, mechatronics, software engineering, and biomedical engineering. So we also have a new specialization called structural engineering, which does have some similarities to civil, but the reason we've got structural engineering now is because it's more specialized and because of demand in industry. So engineers in demand not only in New Zealand but right across the world. So there's some great job opportunities and some great salaries to obtain as well. So I thought I'd just quickly highlight again, similar to business, there's so many different specializations and subjects that you can look at. But these are some of sort of the universal roles that some of our students are obtaining post-completion of their program. So lots of our students are going on to be analysts, consultant engineers, hardware and software developers, project managers, quantitative surveyors, research and design engineers, and systems engineers. As I said, that's just a very small snippet of the jobs our students are getting, but it just does give you an indication of some of the roles that you can look to explore after your studies. One final thing to highlight, we've just completed our brand new engineering building last year. It's a colossal structure of 11 floors. First 5 floors are teaching spaces and fantastic labs for our students. And then the top 6 floors are research labs and where our academics are based. No expense has been spared at the equipment for our students there. It is a remarkable building, and a lot of money has been put into ensuring you have access to the best equipment for your studies. And what we will be doing at the University of Auckland, and I'm sure we'll again invite Storm to come along, so some of you who are interested in engineering, we'll do a virtual tour. So you can come around, have a look at the equipment, rather than just hearing from me talking about it. Now, moving on to the number 1 law faculty in New Zealand, and it's actually next to one of the most important law buildings in New Zealand as well. So the subjects that you can explore, obviously commercial law, environmental law, global politics, human rights law, international law, taxation and public law. Now, what we're renowned for actually is human rights law, international law, global politics and human rights and environmental law. So we're really, really renowned for those particular areas. The other areas are obviously very, very important, but they're more domestic focused. But we're, world leading in the other areas I've just mentioned. The program for you is the Bachelor of Law Honours and the Bachelor of Law, so 3-year and 4-year program. And what's great is this will ensure that you can practice in law after your studies. And you can just see here the sheer variety of roles that you can explore after your studies. So academia going on to lecture and research, government policy work, resource management, judiciary, law reform, mediation, private companies and legal counsel, tax, property management consultants, regulation, compliance, human resources, private practice, so being a barrister or solicitor, and public service in prosecution and defence. So if you're looking to practice in New Zealand in law, you have to do a bachelor's. The Master of Law it can help you towards being able to practice, but it's not the route to practice. The Bachelor of Law and Law Honours is the route. And we've got 2 more faculties, so I'll keep it as quick as I can. So Faculty of Medical Health and Sciences, leading Faculty of Medical Health and Health Sciences in New Zealand. Here's just some of the subjects, huge range of subjects, so health practice, medical imaging, anatomy, audiology, addiction studies, public health, pharmacy, and the list goes on. World renowned for pharmacy and pharmacology and for nursing. Programs include the Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences, the Bachelor of Health Sciences, Medical Imagery, Medical Science, Nursing, Optometry, and Pharmacy. Now, the Bachelor of Medicine might be a program you're interested in, or the Bachelor of Surgery. There is no direct entry into the program. You need to start in the Bachelor of Health Sciences or the Bachelor of Science Biomedical Science. You complete a first year in that program. You achieve certain grades in certain courses. You'll then be invited to an interview. You pass the interview process, you pass the grade process and the selection process, and then you're then invited into the Bachelor of Medicine or Bachelor of Surgery from year 2 onwards, just for your reference. And finally, our largest faculty. This is absolutely ginormous, cracking amount of different subjects. For those of you interested in IT, this is predominantly where our IT-based courses are. So subjects include biological sciences, digital security, data science, ecology, geography, geology, food science, mathematics, psychology, statistics, wine science. So truly remarkable range of subjects. Which you can explore in the Bachelor of Science. So we have the Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Advanced Science. Those are 3 and 4 year programs for you to explore. And again, I do recommend that you go onto our website to really explore those different subject areas. But if you're interested in data science or computer science, then the Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Advanced Science is for you. Now, in terms of jobs, honestly, there are so many different jobs in lots of different specializations. I just can't put them all up on here. But what I thought I'd do is, some of you that are interested in physics, you might be saying, okay, well, if I do physics, where can I go? So I thought I'd just highlight some of the activities people do in a physics related job. So for those of you who are looking to go on and study physics, you can work with electronic and computer applications, addressing environmental and safety issues, materials development, patent consulting, production process and control, research in Crown Institutes, teaching, weather forecasting, and then you may also go on to do master's qualifications after your studies as well. Just to highlight as well, for those students who do an honours, you do actually have the opportunity to go straight on to PhD after your studies as well. Now, study options for 2021. Obviously, if some of you are looking to start an undergraduate program, it predominantly will be online this year. And then we expect students to be back on campus as of 2022 when borders reopen. And then we provide lots of online support for our students, including access to workshops and seminars from our careers development and employability services, library and learning services and student development, and the list goes on. As I said, world-class research is happening at the University of Auckland all of the time. And what's great is those academics who are researching will also be your teachers, which is amazing. And it's a great opportunity for you as well. Just want to highlight a couple of institutes, and again, you can check these out in your own time. So this is one, Liggins Institute, which is in our FMHS and science faculty, and our Auckland Bioengineering Institute, which again is linked up with engineering predominantly, science and FMHS as well. Scholarships. So huge range of scholarships available to undergraduate international students. Now, the one you need to look out for is the University of Auckland International Student Excellence Scholarship, worth up to 10,000 New Zealand dollars. Once you have an offer at the University of Auckland, you can then apply for this scholarship. We award our scholarships based on academic merit. There are a huge range of other scholarships available at the university. And if you go on the scholarships website, you can see what those are. Student life, my goodness, you're in the right of the heart of the city. So what is there available on campus? So we have lots of inter-faculty sports events, so some big rivalries happening between faculties and sports days. We have lots of private study spaces as well as group work spaces for students to sit down in. You can also book rooms, private rooms to complete projects or to meet as a team. You can book those in and around campus. Lots of different social events. Again, we have cafes and food courts dotted around campus. There's academic support services as well. So obviously you can access your lecturers, but we also have student development and student support services, health and counselling, disability services, childcare services, and many, many more. And again, massive computer lab spaces where we have lots of computers available to students to access so you can do your studies. Now, another really, really key thing is AUSA, Auckland University Students Association. We have over 200 clubs and societies. My advice to you is when you come to study, if you study anywhere, make sure you join at least one club. Challenge yourself. And the clubs are things like Quidditch from Harry Potter, or Monopoly, or sailing, golf, cricket, lots of different sports, country societies, language societies. The list goes on and on and on. And if there's a society that we don't have that you would like to join, you can create one yourself. You can start a society yourself. So that's the beauty of AUSA and all of the different clubs and societies. But my advice to you is at orientation, we have a big clubs and societies fair. You can go and see what they're offering. You can go and see what they're doing. They offer lots of freebies, lots of different stuff. But my advice to you is join at least one. It really will make a massive difference to your studies and your experience here. Accommodation. We have over 4,000 beds of accommodation on campus. Those are catered, self-catered, and they have amazing facilities at these campus facilities. And again, you can check them out online. But we have the most accommodation amongst all universities in New Zealand in and around the city of Auckland, and they're all within a 5 and 10 minute walking distance to the city campus. And like the facilities, I mean, honestly, a lot of the campuses, a lot of the accommodation is brand spanking new, which is great. And they have awesome entertainment facilities. So some have cinema rooms, some have music and band rooms. So they've got like a whole band set in there for you to go and play out with friends. One set of accommodation is a really, really tall building, and at the top it has barbecue facilities. So it's a really, really cool deck area for you to look at the whole city, get some awesome views, and obviously you can rent out the barbecues on the top deck as well. It really is remarkable, some of the accommodation. So yeah, if you go online at the website I've messaged there, put on this slide, you can see all of the pictures and videos. I've already spoken about the self-catered accommodation. So international student support, something very, very important to us. So we have we have quite a large international student support team, and they can help with your visa when you're here, visa-related queries and questions, and anything really, anything that you think you need help with, we're there for you. And we'll do our best to help you. And they really are a remarkable team. And not that they should be available 24/7, but a lot of them are. Because they really, really care about you and want you to be well and succeed in your studies. Now, when you do an undergraduate degree with us, being the #1 university in New Zealand means we have unbelievable partners right across the world for study abroad and exchange. And we actively encourage our students to do some form of study abroad as part of their undergraduate studies. And that's not just for domestic students, that is including you as well. Why not enhance your studies by doing a semester abroad or a year abroad at one of our partners? And you can check out all of our partners on the Auckland 360 website on the University of Auckland. I did a study abroad semester when I did my bachelor's degree many, many, many years ago, and honestly was the best fun I ever had, and changed me for life. Probably why I've been moving around and pitching up and starting up in lots of different locations, you learn great skills, you make great friends, and it really does enhance your university experience. And just a final few things to mention before I finish my presentation: career development employability service. As I said before, right at the beginning, we invest heavily in this service because we want to ensure our graduates have great opportunities after their studies in work. So this service is available to you throughout your studies, even when you start online or when you're here on campus, but it's also available for up to 3 years after graduation. So it's a really, really great service. You'll have someone specifically assigned to you when you do visit the CDES employability service. But they run lots of workshops and sessions to help build up your CV, to help articulate yourself to New Zealand employers, and they host massive employment and employer events in the university throughout the calendar year. So they invite lots of different national and international employers to speak to you, to talk about their company and what they're offering, but also they might also be recruiting students. And as I said before, our students are one of the most attractive in country to employers. They want you. And in fact, in some cases, employers pay the university to come and talk to you guys. That's how attractive you are to them. And if you're interested in launching a business or creating a business, we have Unleash Space and Velocity, which are amazing programs to help you launch your idea, to help you receive mentorship in bringing an idea to life. And our Unleash Space, for example, here, they have a maker space with 3D printers, laser cutters, sewing machines, vacuum formers and rotors. They have lots of different workshops and seminars. They have meeting rooms for investor pitches, lounges for brainstorming, where you can meet other students right across the university and staff to come together to make something happen. We really want to champion that. And honestly, check it out online. You'll see all of the different businesses and millions of dollars of investment that have gone into the ideas which have come out of the Unleash Space and Velocity program. So key dates. So for you looking to do a bachelor program, there's 2 dates. Semester 1 and semester 2 is the normal start date. Semester 1 is end of February/March. Semester 2 is the middle of July. So entry requirements. What's great is we now accept all India state boards for means of entry into our undergraduate programs. And I've just mentioned here what our Bachelor of Engineering Honours entry requirements are. So obviously after year 12, we're looking for an average of 75% in the All India Senior School Certificate or India School Certificate ISC. And then the other state boards, we're looking for a slightly higher requirement, which I'll show you on the next slide. So as you can see here, again, this is for the Bachelor of Engineering Honours. We're looking for an 85% in physics and 85% in mathematics with an overall percentage of 75. IELTS 6.5, no band below 6. This is for the Bachelor of Engineering Honours. For most other bachelor programs, it's an IELTS 6, no band below 5.5. You can also see the other state boards there as well. So the Bengal State Board, the Maharashtra and West Bengal State Board, sorry. And the other secondary state boards examinations is slightly higher. The average is slightly higher is what we're looking for. So that gives you an indication there of the percentages that we're looking for. Now, just so you know, this is just for the Bachelor of Engineering Honours. When you go on to say the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Commerce, the Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Health Sciences, for example, that will show a different qualification requirement, just so you're aware. For engineering, physics and mathematics is the foundation for engineering and everything you would do afterwards. That's why we have that on here. That's why we ask for that higher percentage overall in those subject areas. And if you don't have high school and maybe you're coming from an international high school or another form of qualification, we have a GP calculator for you to measure. Okay, guys, that's enough of my voice. I'm sure you're sick to death of hearing from me. That I covered a lot of information in there, huge range of information in there. So I do apologize that probably went on for a very, very long time, but let's answer some of your questions. So can a person who studies law in New Zealand, can they practice in India? So it really depends what type of law you're looking at. I mean, if you're looking at international law or you're looking at international human rights law, then I'm sure that's something you can practice in India. However, if it's taxation, then the taxation in law in New Zealand will be completely different to India. So it might not mean you can practice. Just bear that in mind. But the foundation core elements of law that you will learn in New Zealand will be transferable abroad, but practicing can be difficult in different countries just because there's different laws in different countries. So just bear that in mind.
Right. Ryan, we have a question. I received 2 or 3 questions on the lines of like, we are looking forward to do MBBS. Can we look to study MBBS at University of Auckland? Could you please, and if yes, what's the entry requirement for Indian students if I'm from CBSE background?
Can you just advise what MBBS is again for me, just because there's lots of different acronyms for that particular. So Masters of what, business?
No, the student is MBBS, that is Bachelor's in Medicine and Surgery.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. So so the Bachelor of Medicine and the Bachelor of Surgery, there is no direct entry into that program. What you have to do is you have to come in and study a Bachelor of Science, Biomedical Science, or a Bachelor of Health Sciences taught under the Faculty of Medical Health and Sciences. Now, there's certain courses that you need to do in your first year, and you need to achieve certain grades. So long as you achieve the certain grades, you then go into the selection process, which means that you go into you're invited to lots of mini interviews. Okay. And based on those interviews and based on how you've done in your grades, there'll then be a selection process, which you will then be invited into the Bachelor of Medicine or the Bachelor of Surgery from year 2 onwards. Now, if you don't make it in your first year, you get the chance to do it in your second year. And obviously, if you don't get into the Bachelor of Medicine or the Bachelor of Surgery, you carry on in the Bachelor of Health Sciences or the Bachelor of Science Biomedical Science. So hopefully that makes sense.
All right, Ryan, thank you.
Nice.
Right. So yeah, the other questions that we have is that do we have any course for microbiology and biotechnology for students at bachelor's level?
Yep, so microbiology, definitely, but it will be taught under the Bachelor of Science. So again, as I showed you, there were lots of different subject areas in the Bachelor of Science. Microbiology is probably not a specific subject area as a standalone on its own, but it might come under one of the other major subject areas such as biological sciences or biomedical sciences or biology. So just bear that in mind. It will probably come under one of the other subjects because microbiology is not a standalone. And what was the other part to that question, Hassa? Sorry.
Yeah, I think that that was the question regarding, one was for MBBS and the other was for biomicrobiology, and I think you've covered the other questions too well, Ryan. And since we are running out of time, we have the other university rep waiting to start this presentation. So
okay.
We'll finish off this meeting, and I really thank you for your valuable time and your gesture for considering to join this session. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Ryan.
No, thank you so much, Hafsa. And I just want to thank you, everybody here, for attending. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And yeah, any questions, talk to Storm or contact us directly. Please keep safe and well, and all the best. Take care.
Thanks, Ryan.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So thank you for listening patience for the presentation, and I hope it was really valuable so that you can consider and plan your future to consider to study in New Zealand. Now, as we move forward for this meeting, we have a most prominent university, Heriot-Watt University, joining us. So just let me quickly let you know about Heriot-Watt University. It's a global university known for its pioneering research and well known for subject areas in business, engineering, design. It's ranked in the top 25 UK universities, especially for engineering and technology. And we have with us Mr. Sabrinath Vijay Kumar, Country Director India from Heriot-Watt University. So let's welcome Mr. Sabrinath. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Hafza. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing good too. So
Okay.
over to you, Sabrina. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And I know which school is this basically? Um, these are students from which school are they going to?
Right. The students are from the CBSE background and the state board background. So we have
Okay.
all the students from the bachelor's level in this session, especially
Okay.
no, wanting to know about their bachelor options in the UK.
All right.
And
Great. A
yeah.
very good afternoon to everyone here. My name is Shabri Nath Vijay Kumar. You can call me Shabri, and I'm from Heriot-Watt University. Like my colleague Hafsa said, I'm from an university that's based in UK, very much in the north of United Kingdom in Scotland. So you would have heard about Edinburgh. So if you're familiar with um, Edinburgh, then that's good. If you don't know Edinburgh, Edinburgh is a capital city of Scotland. And of course, if you know Harry Potter, so you might know J.K. Rowling's, and she's originally from Edinburgh, and she's the author of Harry Potter. So that's where the university is located in. So you would have also heard about Edinburgh Castle and everything. So Scotland is a land with loads of castles. Yes, here we go. So I'm going to share you a short presentation. Um, just bear with me. All right. Can can you just let me know if it is um,
Yeah.
viewable? Any technical glitches?
No, no, not really. We are
Okay.
able to see your screen.
All right. So you can see me there, if I'm right. Okay. Great. So that's my contact number and the email address. In case if you need to connect. But however, if you have any questions about your course or anything, you can connect with us. But in order to make an application, you can connect with our strategic partner, Storm Overseas, and Storm will guide you in the application process. So let me take this opportunity to introduce you to our university. So I'm from Heriot-Watt University. So we are a university that's based in Scotland, like I said earlier. So we originated in 1821. That's a huge history what we are talking about. So I'm talking about a history of 200 years. So this year is a huge year for us because we're celebrating a bicentennial anniversary. We're the eighth oldest institution of United Kingdom and has have a huge heritage and also a reputation as a research-led university in the United Kingdom. So we kind of have emphasis a lot on the research, and most of the research what we do at the university has got a huge impact on to the society, to the UK, and to the wider world. So Harriet Ward, have you when you went to school or when you in your previous classes, like you would have heard about a scientist called James Watt who invented steam engine. So if you have heard about him, that's the same Watt in Heriot Watt. So that's a history, and that's what we associate ourselves with, basically. So that's a reputation what we have. So we're a very research intensive university in the United Kingdom, and of course we rank number 9 in the UK for research impact. And most of the research, like I said, has got a huge impact to the society and to the wider world. Okay, going forward, so who we are, like we are a very specialized university. We specialize majorly in area of business, engineering, design, social and life sciences, specifically. And we are a very global university because we are not just based in the UK, but we're also based in Dubai as well as in Malaysia. So we're a very international environment. So today I'm going to talk to you more about the UK campus. And of course, we do have our campuses that's based in Dubai and Malaysia. In Dubai, are one among the two five-star rated universities by KHDA of the UAE government. We were the first British university to have a campus, an overseas campus in Dubai. And of course, according to Forbes Higher Education Awards, we were the best university of Middle East 2019. And 2020 results are yet to come out, probably in the month of April. That's when we expect to get the results out. And of course, in Malaysia, we are an 8-year-old institution, and of course in the tier 1 universities according to the Malaysian government. So that's about us in brief, basically. Of course, our reputation, we are ranked 301 in the world by QS World Rankings, 350 to 400 by Times Zero Education 2021, 29 in the UK by Complete 2021, 35th by Guardian and Sunday Times, 9 in the UK for Research Impact, and number 1 in Scotland, and number 17 in the United Kingdom for the highest paid graduate salary. So that's a kind of a huge reputation what we have in terms as an organization. Okay. So we are a public funded university, so we're not a private university. So we are a public funded university based in the United Kingdom. So going forward as an institution, so we are a traditional university with a very modern output, I would say, like, or a very modern looking institution, basically, because we focus a lot on the tomorrow's careers. There are loads of areas which are getting popular these days, like, for example, into renewable energy, or robotics, or autonomous vehicles, data science, artificial intelligence, logistics and supply chain management. So we focus a lot on the tomorrow's careers, and we focus where there is loads of job opportunities coming as well. Like, so that's an area what we focus a lot, and we do intensive research in these areas. And because of the research what we do in many areas, basically, that has actually made us to have very good connections in the industry. That has actually helped students when they come to study with us, because there is a good blend of a blended learning along with the industry when you do your undergraduate studies, basically. So that's a thing what we do here at the university. And of course we focus a lot on the employability, which is quite evident from our the output as well. Like, so 95% of students who graduated from Heriot-Watt are in a job within first 6 months after graduation. Okay, and this is according to the DLHE status. Okay, now going back to, you did hear about our reputation. Now you can hear about our location. So we're based in the United Kingdom. That's the map of UK. The UK has got 4 countries. That's England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And that's being the United Kingdom. So and we are based in Scotland, and that's up there, and we're based in Edinburgh. So we have 3 campuses in Scotland. So we have the Edinburgh Campus, the Scottish Borders Campus, and the Auckland Campus. So majorly, almost all the undergraduate courses run at the Edinburgh and the Gareth Shields campus, because the Auckland campus is majorly focused on few research in area of marine renewable energy and ocean technology and oil and gas, basically. That's majorly at the master's level, not at the undergraduate level. So the 2 campuses, Edinburgh campus and the Scottish Borders campus, is where we focus majorly to offer the courses. Okay, going forward, our Edinburgh campus. Edinburgh campus we are a campus-based university. We're about 20 to 30 minutes away from the city center, 10 minutes away from the Edinburgh International Airport, and 5 minutes walkable distance from the headquarters of Royal Bank of Scotland. That's where our location is. So we're a campus-based university, put up in an area about 380 acres. So that's a massive campus what we have in. So right from our undergraduate teaching facilities to postgraduate teaching facilities to laboratory facilities to the state-of-the-art libraries and learning spaces for students. We also have on-campus accommodation available at the campus. So we have about 2,000 plus international residential places available inside the campus, specifically. And we also have we also invested a lot into having GRID. GRID is our global research and innovation discovery center, and we focus a lot on artificial intelligence and data science research here. And at Heriot-Watt, we have a research park. The research park has got about 29 companies which have set up their research bases within the campus. So that's kind of, I did mention that, like, we focus a lot on with research initially. And of course, coming to a university life is not just about studying and leaving, but also involving yourself in many activities. So there are about 80 plus societies within the campus where you can get involved in, right from an economic society, or be it a singing society or a dancing society. We have multiple societies where you can get involved in. We also have emphasis a lot on to do with sports. We also have Oriam. Oriam is Scotland's National Sports Performance Centre, and our training grounds are professional training grounds for the Scottish national teams. So that's a bit about the infrastructure what we have in Edinburgh. The Auckland campus is majorly doing looking at the master's courses what we have to offer. So we have various schools within the university. So we focus on majorly on these areas. So we have courses in business management, marketing, digital marketing, accounting, finance, investment, logistics, languages, psychology, and project management. We also have, like my colleague said, like we've also focused a lot on to do with engineering. So we do electrical, mechanical, civil, architectural, petroleum, construction, quantity surveying, physics, chemistry. So these, and of course, fashion and maths and computer science. So these are various areas where we concentrate majorly at the university. So we're a very global university, but a very specialized university because we don't have a medical school, we don't have a law school, but other than that, we do everything at the university. That's kind of quite strong, and of course with a strong reputation too. Okay, now going forward, let me introduce you to the schools in particular and what are we popular for basically. So Edinburgh Business School, that's a business school. We have a business school dedicated within the university. So we have the business school has got a strong reputation. We offer courses in area of business management, marketing, logistics, and of course, accounting and finance and business psychology. So we offer a range of courses there. And of course, all of courses are accredited by professional bodies. So coming to university is not just about learning and leaving, but also you get these professional accreditations from the industry, which will actually give you an edge when you apply for jobs in the competent job market, specifically. So our courses are accredited by professional bodies like ACCA, CIMA, ICAW, PMI. So we have various courses, and almost all the courses has got a professional accreditation too. And we have a center of finance and investment within the campus where we have Bloomberg trading terminals. So Bloomberg are supercomputers that are used in stock exchanges, basically. So students doing a finance courses, they get a facility, or they get an exposure how to play around with finance, basically, how to do financial analysis. Like so, students get that experience basically because of the facilities what we have in. Okay, and we also have a business incubator within the business school, which supports students basically on bringing up their own business, or bringing or developing their own business ideas basically. And we have 23 startups that are running within the business incubator. All right, so have you heard about Adam Smith? Anyone here knows Adam Smith? Who's Adam Smith? Okay, there's a quite silent crowd basically. So Adam Smith is the father of economics, and that's the house where he lived basically, and that belongs to us. And that's where we do more of our economic teaching, and of course economic forums and etc. So that's the house of Adam Smith, and that belongs to the school basically at Heriot-Watt University. So and of course we also focus more on to do with logistics. We also do global logistics research basically, and we, along with University of Birmingham, we have consulted with Shakti Foundation in India for providing logistics support for the transportation of coronavirus vaccines that are manufactured in India. And of course, we kind of like also, along with the University of Cambridge, we're doing logistics research right now to reduce carbon emission through road transport in the United Kingdom. So we do loads of things here in the area. So we're ranked number 15 in the United Kingdom for accounting and finance, and 29th in the UK for business management, basically out of the 153 universities. So, so the subject areas what we cover in the school is accounting and finance, business administration, business and finance, economics and finance, economics and business management, international business management, and marketing. So these are areas what we cover at Edinburgh Business School. Now, going forward to the engineering school, the engineering school of the university has got a huge international recognition, basically in its research, basically, and we focus majorly on disciplines like chemistry, physics, electrical, electronic, and computer engineering, mechanical engineering, and civil engineering. And like I said earlier, we also have professional accreditation from these bodies. So when you look at the logos there, those are the professional bodies which accredit the courses. So we have the Institute of Mechanical Engineering called IMechE, Institute of Engineering, IOE, and of course, the Institute of Engineering and Technology, IET, Institute of Physics, Royal Society of Chemistry, and of course the Institution of Chemical Engineers. So we've kind of like, have accreditation for all the courses what we have to offer in university. Okay, we are number 8 in the UK for mechanical engineering, number 11th in the UK for chemical engineering, and of course 15th in the UK for electronics engineering out of the 150 plus universities in the UK. All right, and we focus majorly on subjects like mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, energy engineering, electrical and electronic engineering, BSc Physics, M-Physics, and of course, BSc Chemistry and M-Chem, that's MS, Masters in Chemistry. And these are 5-year, the M-Chem or 5-year integrated courses, basically. And robotics is the heart of what we do. We own the Edinburgh Centre of Robotics, which is quite strong, and we are currently, our robo Alana has also won the 2nd prize in the Amazon Alexa Awards globally. And we offer a strong area or strong courses in area of robotics. Very popular courses are BA Engineering, Robotics, and Autonomous Interactive System. So our Edinburgh Centre of Robotics is now going to become the National Robotorium of United Kingdom, and it's opening in 2022 within the campus, basically. So this was supposed to go to University of Cambridge, but because of our expertise, what we have in robotics, we run this robotorium along with the University of Edinburgh, and we jointly do this, and and this is now going to become the National Robotorium of United Kingdom, as announced by the UK government. Okay, so going forward from the School of Engineering, and of course, I've go to the School of Mathematics, Actuarial Science, and Computer Science, basically. So have you heard about Actuarial Science, anyone here? So Actuarial Science is the study of mathematics and statistics to evaluate the risk that is involved in the financial, banking, and insurance sector. And actuaries are the highest paid jobs in the world, basically. So we were the first university Okay. So we were the first university in the United Kingdom to start a course in actuarial sciences in 1972. So have a strong reputation. We are completely accredited by the body called IFOA. That's the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries, and also the only university in Europe to be accredited as a center of excellence by the Society of Actuaries in America. So that's kind of a strong reputation what we have in. And of course, we do also have a key friend at Edinburgh Centre of Robotics from the Computer Science School. And of course, we also have courses in mathematics, and we are an integral part of the Maxwell Institute of Mathematical Sciences, is one of the largest and successful mathematical research institutes in the United Kingdom. So we do have professional accreditations for the courses what we have to offer. We offer BSc in Actuarial Science, Financial Mathematics, Statistics, Statistical Data Science, Computer Science, specializing in data or in artificial intelligence or games programming, M Engineering and Software Engineering, BSc in Mathematics, Statistics, and Actuarial Science, Mathematics with Finance, and Mathematics with Computer Science. So these are popular courses what we offer at the university. Okay, so going forward to the next school within the engineering faculty is the School of Energy, Geoscience, Infrastructure, and Society. This is what students who are looking out for, say, anything on to do with geosciences, or into civil engineering, structural engineering, etc., or into geography or urban planning. So that's what the school is popular in. So we are like always, all these courses what we have to offer at the university is accredited by professional bodies, because these professional body accreditations are very important in a career, basically. And of course, that will open up doors for you when you graduate, basically, because when courses are accredited by professional bodies, being a student, you would get a student membership to be in a part of that body. So you will get to know about, go for their seminars, for their networking events, and also you will have access to their journals and etc. And after completion, you would have that status which you will be able to use it, basically. Okay, so we offer BA Engineering and Architectural Engineering, Civil Engineering, Structural Engineering, Construction Project Management, or Commercial Management, Quantity Surveying. Of course, Biological Sciences, more focused into human health, cell and molecular biology, or BSc in Marine Biology, and BSc geography and urban planning and design. So these are various courses what we offer at the school, at School of Energy, Geoscience, Infrastructure and Society. Going forward, so we have a School of Social Sciences. We have to do only one particular area that's only on to do with psychology. Okay, psychology, again, quite strong in our research. We focus majorly on cognition, brain and behavior, lifespan, health and well-being, and of course, work, society, and environment. So we focus, that's what our focus majorly in basically. And we offer a BSc honors in psychology, where graduates will be, after completion of the course is also accredited by BPS, because if you need to practice as a psychologist, as a professional psychologist in the United Kingdom, you need to have a degree that is accredited by BPS. If it's not accredited by BPS, that's the British Psychological Society, I'm afraid you will not be able to practice in the United Kingdom. So this course is completely accredited by BPS, basically. Okay. And now anyone here is interested in fashion. So we have a school, the School of Textile Design, that's based in the Borders campus. That's our borders, Scotland's border with England. So that's about 40 minutes away from Edinburgh. We are the second textile design school in the world, originated in 1883. So this school is very much in the heart of the luxury textile hub of UK. So the factories of popular brands like Chanel to Pringle to Harris Street is all based around the campus, basically. So we offer a range of courses. That's BSc in fashion, fashion technology, fashion and textiles, fashion communication, fashion marketing and retailing, fashion branding and promotion, and also we at the design area, we offer interior design, communication design, interior design, and architecture. So we've kind of offer various courses in these subject areas related to fashion and also to design, basically, at the university. Okay, so you did hear about the different schools what we have within the university and the courses what we have to offer. So now looking at the entry requirements, so you need to know that we normally in Scotland, undergraduate degrees are for 4 years, which is in India, which is normally the BScs are and the BComs are for 3 years. However, engineering is for 4 years. But in Scotland, all undergraduate degrees are for 4 years. So if you have a 12th standard, a CBSE, if you have 75% and above with 75% in relevant subjects. So for example, if you're looking for doing a civil engineering course, we look out for you to have an overall 75% with 75% plus in your 12th standard. And the relevant subjects, what we'll be looking at is mathematics and physics. Okay. Now, if you say that you're looking forward to do a chemical engineering, then we would look out for you, your individual scores to be more in mathematics and chemistry. Okay. But alternatively, if you get higher scores, higher marks, that is, if you have 85% and above in your 12th standard, then we would exempt you from the first year. So we would give you a credit transfer from the first year, and then you can get in the second year straight, and so that your degree will be for 3 years. So we wouldn't be able to do this for computer science, but other than computer science, we will be able to do that at every level. So if you have very good marks, then of course you will be exempted from the first year. That would be, you'll be given credit transfer from the first year, and eventually you can get up there. English is very important for a student's life. So we normally look out for students with 70%, 75% and above in English. If you're looking out for, if you have 75% and above in CBSE English, we will be able to accept you. But we will also be interviewing you. And if we are happy with your communication, we will exempt you. If not, we will ask you to sit for an English test, which is an academic IELTS, and you will need to get an IELTS 6.0 with 5.5 in each and every component. And next is where we look out for a strong personal statement from you. What is a personal statement? So a personal statement should talk about you, yourself, like what you would like to do, like, why do you intend to study, and what would you like to study? What made you to look forward to do this course? Why did you choose this university? And how this course will help you to reach your future goals? So this is what we expect in a personal statement from you. And last but not least, be nice to your academic staffs who are teaching you, because we also need 2 academic references from the teachers who teach you in your 12th standard. So that's what we look out for as an entry requirement. Now, going forward with the tuition fees, before that, I would say the other English qualifications what we accept is we accept IELTS, we accept PTE, TOEFL, IELTS indicator, or the TOEFL home edition examination. So these are various other examinations what we will be able to accept. Now going forward, the tuition fees, undergraduate tuition fee for the non-lab based courses are £15,384. A pound is 100 rupees today. So you can do the math. It's just very simple mathematics, like, whatever be the cost there, multiplied by 100. So this is each year tuition fee. And for the lab-based courses, that is £19,792. So that's a tuition fee range for the undergraduate courses. Now going forward, scholarships. Yes, of course, we do offer scholarships. If you perform very well, if you have performed very well in your 12th standard, then we would provide you up to £3,000 scholarships for the first year of your study. Okay, so these are things what you today you did hear about Heriot-Watt University. You did hear about our reputation. You did hear about the courses what we have to offer, the entry requirement, the tuition fee, and also the scholarships what we have to offer. So that's what you heard from me today. So and I'm going to open this forum right now for questions and answers. And thank you for patiently listening to me. And let's open this forum for questions. And I'm happy to take any questions or any doubts what you have about coming to the UK or coming to study at Heriot-Watt University.
Hi, Sabri. So
Hi,
if any one of you would have any kind of a questions, please put the question into the chat box. So the university will address the questions, or else you can raise your hand and you can ask the university directly the questions. So any one of you would have any questions for the for the university? You can raise your hand. There's an option to raise your hand, and we will give you the access to talk to the university as well.
Yes, you can feel free to ask me any questions about like studying in the UK or studying in Scotland or studying at Heriot-Watt University. I'm happy to answer any of those questions.
You can please drop your questions in the chat box, or you can raise your hands. No problem.
Right.
Sabri, we will be
I have a
sharing.
question from Nitya Shankar. Nitya, like you're asking me, what are the opportunities available for arts in the university? So when you mean by arts, what are you mentioning? Can you be, Nitya, you're on. Do you want to unmute yourself and ask that question? What do you mean by arts? Like, you're talking about art and design?
Nitya, you can unmute yourself and can ask as well.
As in English literature. Unfortunately, Nitya, we don't do English literature in our university. So because we're focused majorly, like I said earlier, we're a very specialized university. So we specialize majorly in business education. We focus everything right from economics, accounting, finance to business management, and also an engineering focused institution. So we're a very focused institution. So unfortunately, we don't have a literature school within the campus, though we do a bit of languages that's majorly not teaching English as a language, but however, we do bit on to do with interpreting, translation, etc. But that's majorly translation of European languages to English or English to European languages, etc.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Nitya.
Okay, so Sabri, I guess right now we do not have a question.
All right.
Thank you so much, Sabri. Thanks a lot for your
Thank
time.
you so much. Thank you so much, Swati. We have our courses starting in September this year. So if anyone here is interested to apply and change your life, transform your life through education, you're welcome to make an application. My colleagues at Storm here would be a point of contact for you, and they would be guiding you in the application process. If you require any support from our end, you can always feel free to connect with us directly too, if you have any questions about the courses, etc. But if in order to make applications, my colleagues at Storm will help you on with an application. Thank you so much for providing an opportunity to us to come and talk in front of you. And I wish you all a great best future, and stay safe. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Sabri. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Swati.
Okay, so we do have another session right now at 1:30 p.m. with University of Leicester, which is again in the UK university. It's a top world rank university. So I would request all of you to please attend that session by 1:30 p.m. once again with the same link. Meanwhile, we have been shared one of the link in the chat box. If you can please fill that form. It will be a feedback form. And if you do have any question for the Heriot-Watt University Scotland, you can ask your questions in that chat, or like in the form, you can mention your questions. We will get back to you with your respective emails to have your answers about the questions. Thanks a lot for your joining. I will be waiting for you by 1:30 again on the same link. Currently, if you do have any questions to ask about UK University, like the Heriot-Watt, you can even type in your chat box also. We'll resume the session by 1:30 p.m. Thanks a lot. Thank you, students, for joining. Thanks a lot. We'll be waiting for you by 1:30 p.m. There would be another university, which is University of Leicester from UK. It's a world rank university. It's going to deliver about their university session by 1:30 p.m. So we'll be waiting for you to 1:30 p.m. from the same link. You can join.